You may not believe this, but just about a week ago, I fell down a 4-story elevator shaft, landed on top of the elevator, and lived to walk away and tell the truth about it.
You fell down a 4-story elevator shaft?
Yeah, 4-story elevator shaft.
How'd you live? How'd you survive?
By my Father that created us and gave us the breath of life. It's the only way I can say that I survived. Because the whole time I was falling, the only thing that ran through my mind was, oh shit, I'm falling, I'm gonna die.
What'd you hit?
The elevator, I landed on top of the elevator, the bracing for it, and I felt like I crushed my spine, and like I feel like I broke my pelvic somewhere. But I wanted to die the other day because I got left. My girlfriend left me, had my spot on the couch just for dead.
Why'd your girlfriend leave you?
I don't know why. I think because I didn't do what I said I was gonna go do, which was go get water so she can shower. But it made me realize that I can't rob the world of my intellectual intelligence or emotional intelligence, whatever you want to call it, because I can relate to people. I was born in 1987 at Pomona Valley Hospital. I weighed 2 pounds, 15 ounces, and I dropped down to 1 pound and 5 ounces. I was only given 7 days to live, and I was given up for adoption. And my mom that raised me, very good-hearted woman, raised me with good morals and values. She made a vow to God. She said, God, if you give us this child, we shall raise him in your house, and he shall know your ways. And you can use him as a vessel of honor for your kingdom. You know, everyone goes through things in life, some more than others and some less. But what I truly believe is that the whole world needs healing. We need to stop judging other people and ourselves and just learn to love. I grew up in foster care my whole entire life. I don't know who my mom or my dad is, but I am looking for them. I was molested and raped from the age of 5 till I was 11 by my oldest foster brother, and dealing with that, now looking back at it, it changed me a lot, I believe, because I believe if that didn't happen to me, I wouldn't be the way I am today. But I'm not God to say if I would or wouldn't. What I believe in life is everyone deserves to have their story told, and everyone deserves to have a place that they can call home at the end of the day. Because when I look at life right now and I walk around and I just meditate on things that I've been through, the struggles that I've gone through in my life, I've learned to enjoy life, but I've learned that everyone needs healing. Because life is hard. Everyone goes through things, whether it's good or bad. And we go through these things not for ourselves, but for other people in life to learn, to help them get through it. You know, people say, oh, you know you're a real good Christian when you don't pray for yourselves, when you pray for others. You know, if you ask my dad to give you strength, he's going to put you through something hard. If you ask him for patience, he's going to make you wait. You know, I always thank him for everything I'm going through in life, whether it be good or bad, because it makes me who I am today to talk so boldly about him and to try to get the message that he's put on my heart out to people. I'm 36. I just started a nonprofit last year called the Good Love Foundation. It's not fully operational and up and running yet, but it's getting started. And I'm just here to teach people how to live life prosperously and abundantly, I guess you could say, by biblical concepts, principles, and truths. Now, when I say prosperously and abundantly, I'm not talking about the car you drive or how big your house is. I'm talking about being consciously aware of the words and thoughts and deeds that we do to each other. Because words are very powerful. Words can make or break somebody. You know, in the beginning, when I first became a drug addict and I was addicted to meth, I would go and sit in front of a gas station and ask people for change. Well, there was a point in time where I really, really wanted to get sober and change my life. And this was, I was gonna say, was probably 2007. I'm sitting in front of this AM/PM gas station and I'm asking people for money to get something to eat, but I'm also asking them first, do they know where I can get a job at? So this white guy pulls up in a nice Lexus, suit and tie and everything. He gets out and he takes one look at me. And right then and there, I already knew he was judging me. And he says, we don't hire drug addicts. It broke my spirit that day. And I went out and got high. And you know, I don't know how to explain it. I'm getting over this. I'm getting closure finally for what happened to me when I was little, because I didn't get to talk to my brother for about 20 years, and I finally talked to him October of last year, and I asked him, I said, Kenny, did you do to me to your kids what you did to me? And he told me no, he didn't. That was one of the biggest things of guilt that I walked around with my whole entire
How
life.
long did that go on when you were a kid?
From the ages of 5 till I was 11.
5 to 11.
Yeah. And then it didn't help with me knowing, because ever since I was little, they told me I was a foster child. And there's times where my birthday would come around, or Christmas, just the holiday season would come around, and I'd wish and pray and just be like, Mom, please write me a letter. Just let me get one letter from you saying that you love me, that you think about me, or something like that. And that letter never came. But I always trusted in my Father that created us. He's the only one I've ever known that's been there by my side no matter what. And I thank him, because after 20 years of me not being able to talk to my brother, I finally got closure and a couple questions answered that I need answered. And he told me, he said, John, I regret doing what I did to you. It never should have happened. And I told him, I said, Kenny, I forgive you. You didn't know what you were doing. You were just a kid just like me. But there comes a point in time in life when we go through things that we got to put those childish things away, I guess you can say, become a man, think like a man, act like a man. So I'm finally fully getting closure from that part of my life. I would like to talk to my dad that raised me, because I still need closure from him, because when my mom and my dad divorced when I was 13, it was right when my doctor died. And my doctor had told me that he would take me and pay for my medical school. All I had to do was graduate high school. And it changed my life drastically when he passed away. And then when my dad and my mom got a divorce, it was like my dad would come pick up my older brother Eric and my little brother Luke and would leave me at the house. And he'd just give me some bullshit story of, oh, Mom didn't want you to come with me because she was afraid you were going to act up. But it was really him not wanting me to be there, because I guess you could say I wasn't his child.
I noticed you have a wig on and you have
Yeah.
breasts.
No, it's just my bra.
It's a bra.
Yeah.
But so are you trans?
I'm dealing with a little identity crisis because of what happened to me when I was a child, and I'm learning who I truly am at heart, because I don't know my family history, I don't know where I come from, but I do know where I'm going. My Father's given me this ideal in my heart to start this foundation to help house people, and one of the things I want to do is I want to give back part of the money that I get paid to house them, kind of as an incentive to allow me to house them, but also as a way that people can come and just have a place they can call home at the end of the day. You know what I mean? There's so many people out here on the streets that I've met out of the 15 plus years that I've been homeless, that some of them are too afraid to ask for help or won't ask for help because they've been told no too many times. And I love the way my mom said it. We're the foundation that you come to after everyone's told you no. We're going to tell you, come on inside. We're going to see what we can do for you. I love my mom that raised me. She put a lot of love and time into raising me. She raised me as just if I was one of her own. I think she gave me a little bit more love than her own kids, because I wasn't her own. You know what I mean? She fulfilled her part of the vow. She raised me in his house. And I know his ways. And even though I dress or live a lifestyle like this, what I truly believe is the intentions and thoughts of the heart is what matters the most. Because we all go through things, and some of those things that we go through break us. And the human mind is so wonderfully made that it's like you can go through something so traumatic as a child, or as a human being, you can go through something so traumatic that your brain will literally shut itself off so you won't remember it. And when I was 4, I cut my finger off and I died. The reason why I say I died is because I seen myself being carried into Pomona to Chino Valley Hospital in my mom's arms. But I felt so at peace that like nothing could harm me. And I don't ever remember leaving the hospital. I don't even remember how I got home. I just remember waking up one day on my street, down the street from my house. And my brother from my dad's side of the family was going to take the stitches out of my finger. There was a time when I was 8. I call it time travel, whatever you want to call it. I had a dream that I went back and seen myself being carried into the hospital. And when I woke up that morning, I asked my mom, and I said, Mom, did you take me to Chino Valley Hospital when I cut my finger off? And she sat there and just went pale white like a ghost. It was like, how do you know that? And I explained it to her. I said, I had a dream. And this is what happened in the dream. Also, that same year, I think, I got burns on half my body. I had 3rd-degree chemical burns. Part of my skin got melted to my clothing because it was like the greenhouse effect because of the paint chemicals. And my skin literally melted to my body, to my clothes. And I grew up with this big burn mark on my arm and my leg all the way from here to here as a child. And, you know, people would ask me what happened, and some people would make fun of me, but I never let it put me down. I was always the one that was running around school with a smile on my face, telling people I'm not going to do drugs or I'm not going to do this. But here I am now. You know, I'm a drug addict and I'm homeless. But
Crystal meth.
yeah, crystal meth really made me. But I have this desire to want to help people out in life and help them heal and show them that all the adversities and things that I've gone through in life, they can survive them too. They just need someone to give them a thought of enlightenment or like a word of encouragement, because words are very, very powerful, I believe. You know, words can make or break somebody. And I know it firsthand for myself and through experiences and things that I went through. Even today, I was at 7-Eleven getting me a cup of coffee, and the security guard looks at me and he asks me a question. He goes, "Did you already pay for that?" I said, "Are you stereotyping me?" And he's like, "No." I said something along the lines. He's like, "Well, how do you think you look?" And I said, "I look pretty tore up right now. Is how I look. Is how I feel and look." And he goes, "Well, why are you judging yourself?" I said, "It's based upon the words that you used to me, the question that you asked me." I said, "I'm a customer coming into a store to buy some food and coffee, and you're asking me have I paid for it yet? I don't have to tell this gentleman that I'm getting coffee. All I have to do is make sure that I have the money to pay for it." But the crazy thing was, as I'm walking out the 7-Eleven, some dude that had been sitting there at the bus stop that was standing up, perfectly normal, is laying on the ground, blue. He was ODing off of fentanyl, and all I did was just run over there and tell somebody to give me an Narcan, and somebody called 911. And I walked back over to the 7-Eleven and told the store clerk, I said, "Hey, call 911, you got someone ODing out here." And I went back to start doing chest compressions. I gave him 2 Narcans. I don't know if he's alive or if he survived it or if he died, but I hope he did survive, you know, because one thing that everyone in life needs to understand is that we all go through things and we all make mistakes. But the hardest thing for us as human beings is to forgive ourselves for mistakes and pain we've caused others. We're so hard on ourselves that it stops us from becoming the fullest potential that we can be. We're our worst own critic. And when you say you're going to try to do something, you're only lying to yourself or making excuses. You're not really fixing the problem. Like I watched this TED Talk one time, and it was so cool because the girl had Asperger's syndrome, autism, and she was explaining how her mind thinks having Asperger's syndrome, and there's no gray area. It's either black and white, yes or no. You either do or you don't. And that accident the other day, it made me realize, am I going to do my Father's will for my life and get the message out there that he's put on my heart to give and show people how it is to become love and to love someone? Or am I just going to be someone that wastes the gold talents, like that parable? I don't want him to take what he has from me, take it away. I want to be able to use those gold talents and help people out in life. I mean, how would it feel if you got a phone call out one day out the blue saying, "Mr. Mark, this is Johnson here from the Good Love Foundation. We see that you're not going to be able to make your rent today, so we're going to go on ahead and pay the rest of your rent for you. Just hopefully you can make it next month. And if not, we'll still be here for you." Because I truly believe that an honest man's work is an honest man's wages. You know, my motto is this: if you come to my foundation, you help build a home for a homeless person, you get your own home for free. You know what I mean? treat people the way you want to be treated in life is my biggest message.
The world would be a great place if there was more kindness like that.
Yeah. Like, I have these great ideas, and one of them I want to use Google Glasses for, and it's called Point of View. It's just me holding a conversation with people that are homeless just like me, but an emotional, intelligent conversation to show people into the other half of society that labels us as drug-ridden, outcast, diseased people that are no good, we can't be saved, we're not human, to show them that, hey, look, we still are human. And that no matter what we go through in life, no matter what adversities we face, we can overcome them. I mean, if I was only given 7 days to live and I was able to fit in the palm of your hand, and it take 4.5 hours to feed me 1.5 ounces of baby food down my stomach because I was so addicted to crack, then I'm pretty sure you can overcome some other things in life. If I was able to overcome my brother molesting me, my mom and my dad going through divorce, me going in the military and everything, then people are able to overcome anything in life. All you got to do is set your mind to it. That's all it is.
What's been the roughest point in your life?
The roughest point in my life, I would say my drug addiction, because there was times, man, there was times where just so I could get high, I would go and try to prostitute myself or do whatever I could. There was times where I was breaking into people's houses just to feel my drug addiction. And I had to learn it the hardest way when I was homeless. I had pictures of my daughter that passed away that my ex sent me when I was in prison. And I came home and I had all these letters, my Bible, and her pictures in this backpack. And this was when I was living under the First Street Bridge by the LAPD warehouse right there, where the Metro and the Metrolink and the MTA bus transit station is at. I was living under the First Street Bridge, and it was bad. Like, it was filthy. And the crazy part is, I hid my backpack in the actual city yard so no one can get it. But somebody stole it. And it made me realize the, what's the right word for it, Dad? The security of having a home and having somebody break into your house and take your belongings. Even though they're not monetary, even though some things may not have monetary value, they could have sentimental value. Those pictures were sentimental to me. They're what helped me get through my prison term to get back home to my family so I can heal. And I'm never gonna have those pictures again. Somebody took them from me. You know, the hardest part I could say about being homeless is not having a roof over my head. And I truly believe that being homeless, it creates this emotional, mental scar on people that I don't think they'll ever heal from. It just takes time to heal. Because there always will be that, what's the right word, that memory or flashback of what you've been through or where you fell at and how hard it was. You know, I put it like this. People in life, they need to stop hating themselves and learn to love themselves. Because if they learn to love themselves, then they would learn to love their neighbors, which is everyone else in life. And there's times in life where I sat there and I'd be like, Dad, I wish I could hold you. You could hold me in your arms. I just wish I could get a word of encouragement from you. Well, he says this, if we're all created in his image and the likeness of them, then we're all a part of them as a whole. And you see him every day when you walk down the street, a part of him, because he's in all of us. And I truly believe that life is beautiful and that we need to learn to heal. Sorry if I feel like it feels like I'm repeating myself.
No.
I
Is that a Bible in your hand?
Yeah, because a friend of mine sat there the other day, 3 days ago exactly, and he says, John, have you really read your father's word? I said, yeah, I've read it from front to back. He's like, no. Not just read through it, but have you really read it? And I said, what, like if it's a book specifically written for me? He's like, yeah. I said, not really. He says, well, you might want to read it. So the past 2 days, when I was getting ready to leave my spot, I found a Bible on the windowsill of my door. And I don't consider it a coincidence or anything. I consider it a sign of him telling me, You need to read my word because it's going to play a very important part of your life in helping people heal. You know, I'll put it like this. No matter how angry or how upset or how sad or hurt I feel, I still give him thanks. Like Job said in the Bible, if we should accept good from him, shall we not accept adversity too? Because if in life we were able to have everything we want at the snap of a finger, how will we learn as human beings to grow, to have compassion, empathy? I mean, we would just be like robots. People say we have free will, but I don't think it's free will that we really have. I think we have the freedom to make choices in life. Like, I'll give you an example. I can either say, hey, I want to help this old man walk across the street and carry his groceries to his door for him. You know, maybe I might get a blessing. Or I could say, you know what, I'm gonna push this old man down, take his wallet and everything he has on him and run. It's the thought and intention of the heart is what matters the most. You know, I had to ask a store clerk one day, I said, my dad says, is it wrong for a man to steal food if he's hungry? It says, no, it's not. But if the man gets caught, he must pay sevenfold back. So no matter what we do in life, whether it be good or bad, our creator, he crazy that he causes the sun to shine on the righteous and on the wicked, and he causes the rain to fall on the righteous and on the wicked. He is a just and fair God. He shows no partiality. He's the same today as he was yesterday. So the thing is this, don't judge anyone else nor yourself. Just know that you're a sinner and that he's giving you forgiveness through grace and our Savior. So what I try to do is just treat people the way I want to be treated. You know, there was a lady a year and a half ago, her name was Melissa, and she had OD'd off of fentanyl. And she was laying there in front of the across the street from the Home Depot in MacArthur Park. And I felt it inside of myself. I said, no, Dad, please. I don't know if this woman is going to be with you for the rest of eternity or if she's going to be separated from you. But I do know one thing, that she deserves a second chance. That whatever words or message you have for me to speak to her, I will speak every last one of them. Then I started speaking in tongues, and I looked to the woman next to me and I said, I need you to do me a favor. We're going to turn around and walk away. Don't ask me what I'm doing. Just watch. And I just imagined that I was connecting with everything in life and asking it, can I use some of its energy to bring this woman back to life? And I imagined that I just grasped a little bit of energy from everything around me and put it in an energy ball, which is, I guess you could say, playing with it. And I imagined that I was charging it and then compressing it, and I lightly tossed it back at the woman. And I walked down one block and I said, Eileen, you know what my Father's word says? A thing is established where there are two witnesses or more. I said, do me a favor. My dad wants you to trust not me, but the words that he's speaking through me to you. He wants you to imagine that you're connecting with everything in life and that you're drawing energy from it into an energy ball. And you're directing it back at that woman. Because my brother Joshua, who died on that cross, who everyone calls Jesus, he sat there and said, these things that I do, you shall do, and so much more. Now, if he was able to raise Lazarus from the dead, why can't I raise this woman from the dead that's dying here?
John, I'm gonna pass on the religious talk. What would you say is the most important lesson you've learned in your life?
Don't take the small things for granted. You know, a small act of kindness doesn't go unnoticed, because all it takes is that one small act of kindness to change somebody's life. Even if just my interview or my conversation here changes one person's life for the better and greater good and cause of humanity, that's all that matters to me. You know, and to appreciate life. Life is beautiful. No matter how insignificant you may think your life is, it's very, very significant to everyone around us.
All right. John, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Mm-hmm.
I wish you lots of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.